All right, so hello, I'm here with Peyton LeBarr and Leslie Menagh. How are you both doing today?
Terrific.
Great.
So you are both a part of the Common Threads Collective. Can you tell me about the Common Threads Collective and what brought you all together?
Well, we have to thank Reem from the New Canadian Centre for really being the groundbreaking artist behind all of this work. Reem, who was working at the New Canadian Centre at the time, who was really inspired by the story of one of the clients she had been working with. She took it upon herself to reach out to myself and Leslie and also one other artist, Kate Story. We got together and we thought about what we could do. And we thought that the story of this particular newcomer was so powerful and moving that it really deserved a pretty large platform. We put our thinking caps on and we pulled in a few more artists, all with various different talents and skills. And lo and behold, a collective was born.
So what would you say is the common thread between you all?
Story, I would say. Wouldn't you, Peyton?
Yeah, I think so.
We all came together and felt equally passionate about the story and grateful for its existence and wanted to work together to kind of bring it to the public.
You do have a workshop that you're working on, which is storytelling through textiles. So we've got threads, we've got textiles. Can you tell me about that workshop, what it is, what inspired this workshop?
What our activities included for the entire collective, each artist was sort of tasked with developing their own workshop based on their own personal skills. So Leslie was working with textiles, I was working with storytelling. We had some other artists working with dance and movement. We had another one in puppetry. So it was a pretty broad scale. And Leslie had her workshop so very in touch with the kind of work that I would do in a storytelling workshop. Just rather than sharing stories, it was told through the creation of using fabrics and textiles. And we decided that it would probably be best suited for us to work together on this one rather than separately. Also in the hopes that a lot of people who really need their stories shared are not people who would see an ad for a storytelling workshop and jump at the chance.
That's sort of the beauty of combining mediums, is that you get people from different backgrounds to come together and have a chance to see what each other works on. Can you give me a bit of your creative background and what work you have been exploring?
In my 20s and into my 30s, did all kinds of different work. So I did some agricultural work and I've done some entrepreneurial stuff. I came to more of a professional practice when I was in my 30s. I went to art school and then I came out of art school, did some arts administrative work, a little bit of artistic work myself. I'm 45 now and I started a business called Matter House Textile Studios in downtown Peterborough. Really, it was a business that did whatever people were interested in doing, sort of pertaining to creative work, working in textiles. And then, of course, the pandemic hit and all of that changed. The focus primarily has actually been on much more work to do with collaborations, creative collaborations with people, working with a team of newcomer women who have sewing skills to work on a lot of projects like making masks for the community.
It sounds like you're a very well-rounded artist. There's a lot of different skills there. Peyton, do you want to just tell us what kind of creative work are you involved in?
I'm a theater artist and I started off as an actor. I went to school at the University of Windsor and got my BFA in acting there. And then I went to the UK and I got my master's at East 15 Acting School. Just really got to see the world and found sort of my happy place in performing arts. And then I came back to Toronto, worked for a while in a number of independent projects. I did quite a lot of producing. I found if you want to do the projects that you're most passionate about, you need to pick up a few extra skills. And so I started studying production. I did an apprenticeship in artistic direction and a few other things. My partner and I made the big decision to move out of Toronto. And we came to the Peterborough County. It is the most welcoming artistic community I've ever experienced. It's been such a dream. I discovered that sort of my real love for the arts actually comes from projects that are really heavily based in issues of social injustice and ways to have a more direct effect on our communities. I work with a lot of organizations like the Kawartha Sexual Assault Center and the New Canadian Center, in places where we can help provide arts programming for community members who might face barriers.
One of the things that was the most just like a pleasant surprise was the sense of community, especially within theater and the arts here in Peterborough.
The thing that really gets me jazzed about Peterborough is how invested the audiences are. In Toronto, there is a real sense that your audience is the industry, so you're performing often, more than not, for other actors.
My sense is that there's also a greater interest in exploring arts connections with organizations that are non-arts oriented. For instance, in this case, we've been working with the New Canadian Center, and they're helping us to provide this workshop series.
It's very, very collaborative.
It's also what connects everybody to the idea of the common thread.
Everyone gets a piece of the thread.
I see the wordplay going on.
What can we look forward to from Common Threads in 2021?
We have, for the next little while, we have a list of workshops that are going to be taking place through the New Canadian Center. We're sort of collecting stories and information and experiences from these workshops. A group of us will be coming together sort of later in the spring, early summer, and from all of this work that we've been doing over the past year or so, we'll be developing a large multi-arts immersive storytelling experience that will be happening in downtown Peterborough. We hope in the fall of 2021. The project itself will be presented by Public Energy through the Insight series. What we can say is it will be a sharing of the original story of one newcomer's journey from Syria to becoming a newcomer in Canada. There will be movement, there'll be puppets, there'll be storytelling, there'll be some community engagement. There's quite a lot of wheels turning.
Intending by offering this workshop series is that this is really research for us. So the workshops and participants offering their life stories and their own skills and making contributions of all kinds during those workshops will actually inform what that performance, installation, piece, whatever it's going to look like, is going to become.
What a fabulous way to create sort of a larger project by doing these little workshops throughout the year. I'm really excited about the work that you guys are doing. Hopefully this year things can just improve and we'll be able to see all of these projects come to fruition.
By the time the end of next summer comes, I think it'll be a really great way to celebrate coming together again in a safe environment.
The pandemic and the challenges that it has presented us with have, on the one hand, of course, are incredibly challenging, but we're really creative and we're committed to navigating it, and together we can do this.
I just want to thank Public Energy for all of their support, for selecting this collective as one of your artists in residence for the year. We can't do it without the support of larger organizations, so we're really, really appreciative.
That is pretty much going to be it for our interview. So thank you both, Leslie and Peyton, for chatting with me. I'm really excited to see what's to come from Common Threads.
Thank you for taking the time today to chat with us.